I went to Ralph's or CVS and bought a hair dye box and went home and dyed my hair that night. The next day, mind you, I have to shoot the video for Pieces of Me. So I'm calling everyone, like my hair and makeup. I'm like, just so everyone knows, I have brown hair. Hi, I'm Ashlee Simpson Ross, and this is my life in pictures. I love that Jessica and I have these little flip hats, and look at my mom's hair. My parents are like babies here. This is like our old house. We all have very cool sweaters on, except for me. I think for me, just like my memories growing up with a sister, like she taught me how to tie my shoes. She taught me, like, she definitely protected me. She's 4.5 years older than me, and she was always, looking after me. And, then we came to a place when I was about 11, and I decided I wanted to take all of her clothes. And then it was really annoying. No, but she would let me. She always had fun things, and she was a great big sister. Ballet was my life growing up. I started dancing like so young. And my mom always had us be active, and she knew we loved to perform. So Jessica and I would always be putting a performance on. So my mom would, always have us in classes, or she would be the one teaching me how to do my flip-flop, which now I do for my daughter, because I can still do a front handspring. So I've taught all of her friends how to do one. But ballet was something for me. I started there, and I realized that was where I was really good at. So I went to School of American Ballet at 11 years old. There was definitely a moment where I was either going to go to New York and do School of American Ballet, stay there. My family, Jessica, just got signed that summer, and they were moving to California. And I had this moment in myself where I was like, I want to discover acting. I want to discover different things, and I want to be with my family. So we moved the day after I turned 14 to California. And I came out here, and I started acting classes and dancing. And then I danced with my sister on tour. Oh my gosh, Jessica's music video. I Think I'm in Love. Yes. Oh my gosh. Dancing with her was so much fun. I mean, it was great because I got to grow up on tour. So I've grown up on tour buses since I was 14. And that element of knowing the tour life before I moved on and did my own thing was so nice, because I had this fun family vibe. We were hilarious in the back of that bus. And it was a different time. She was starting out, so it wasn't like the fanciest bus or anything. But this is so cute. We were shooting that video, and I don't think I was really like a great hip hop dancer, but I really enjoyed doing it with her and being with her. It was definitely an interesting aspect growing up with Jess and stuff on tour at this time. I was very protective of her, and I was like, I think it was just such a time where people really looked at artists almost not like human beings. And I really saw that as her younger sister. And it gave me so much for me as an artist, things that I wasn't going to put up with, things that I would do different. And I think that was just such an amazing lesson. And also how to support my sister. I'm like, excuse me, what did you just say? By the time I was 16, I was like, I'm not going to be a background hip-hop dancer for the rest of my life. This was fun. I've really enjoyed the time with my family. But at the same time, I was writing songs, and I also wanted to get back to acting, and then I was on Seventh Heaven.
Does this mean that we have another chance?
I don't know. 16, I have a 16-year-old. I'm driving to set, far on the 405 every day, like 5 a.m., I got to leave. I have a 6 a.m. call time. And for me, I think also going back to that ballet background and whatnot, that helped me, and the tour background. It helped me be able to be that person that could go to set. And then I had wonderful people around me, like Beverly Mitchell, who was took me in as a sister. Just so many people on that set. Rachel, who would run lines with me every day. Now she's on The Summer I Turned Pretty. But this was such a fun set with everyone being different ages, but everyone was so lovely and welcoming, and it felt like a place that I could really just kind of feel like I had a little family around me. So I'm still in touch with Beverly. I just did her podcast, and I got to see her and David and Mackenzie, and that was so much fun. Everybody's parents now. And Beverly and I, we used to go out together and hang out all the time, and She taught me how to knit. All my scarves had holes in it because I think on set I was like, oh, everyone knits. But yeah, she's just an amazing girl, and we've definitely stayed in touch. And it was actually fun because when I was shooting Seventh Heaven, I was writing my first album. So I would have Beverly come to my trailer and listen to my music and be like, what do you think of this song? Or I'd play it for the hair and makeup people. So they were actually all really a part of me developing my first album. I love this, the Ashlee Simpson Show. I dyed my hair the day I finished Seventh Heaven. Because of continuity, I had to have the same hair, the same like bang and everything. But that was a fun moment where, you know, it was just kind of like, I'm making this decision. This is how I'm showing up. Here it is.
I didn't do it to separate myself from my sister. I just needed to do something new. And I kind of like wanted to do something spontaneous and kind of shock everybody. And I definitely think that I did that.
Shooting the Ashlee Simpson Show was actually fun. We had so much fun. It was like me and my best friends, and they were so amazing. They would go to the studio with me. It was just like this fun way of living, and it's something I definitely like don't regret doing. It's really nice that we have these moments documented and we can go back and laugh at ourselves and
hear my voice. I'm like, hey guys, I'm Ashlee.
Hey, I'm Ashlee Simpson, and I'm 19 years old.
It's so cute and endearing, and it's something that I can look back on and enjoy. And shooting the show was great. It caught so many beautiful moments, like being signed and the things that I went through, the ups and the downs. And for me, I think it was an important element in my life because it was people getting to know who I was. And I wanted people to experience this process with me and this album process. Joggers definitely watch some of my episodes of The Ashlee Show. My best friends from the show are her godmoms, so she loves to look at it and laugh at us. I don't think I would do another series necessarily, like with my family. I mean, I could see myself doing like little documentary or things like that. But I don't think I would do an actual show again. I think I did it a lot. I had my fair share. I love not having cameras in my house. And honestly, for me, I don't even mind as much as like, you know, I have 3 kids. So I think it's really important that they have their, you know, normal lives and we get up and do our normal routine without cameras in the house. Autobiography. Oh, this album cover was so much fun to make. I had Rachel Zoe styling me, who's still a friend, and I have these amazing Levi jeans that she brought. They were like vintage. I still have them. I wore them the other day, right when I was like, oh, I'm doing the Vegas residency. I put them on. I was like, oh my God, my jeans. So the jeans that I'm wearing in this shot, I still have. And I wore so many bangles and like the one earring. There was so many fun elements of this, but I think even just doing this shoot and just like discovering my style and saying like, ugh, like I was always very honest, like I don't feel comfortable in this. I don't want to wear this. I won't do that. Like I was just very direct. And I think that was all a part of me discovering who I was, where I was going, and who I want to be as an artist. I definitely felt confident to use my voice with what I wanted to say. It doesn't mean everyone always listened, but I definitely put up the fight. Going back and listening to my music, it definitely is my autobiography. You know, I was going to the studio with like a breakup with this, and it was like I said, it was like therapy, and I was letting that out, and I was letting it out through emotions. And like I said, having like Cara Diaguardi and John Shanks with me, they were like my therapist, you know, like going to that and then helping me also like find the light and seeing that every time I wrote about like, you know, get out, blah, 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 like I always found out like, oh, like I'm here to love myself or something like that. And I feel like just discovering that and also being so raw and real is something I love to go back and listen to. Oh, Am. Okay, I really loved to change my hair color, clearly. And now I have red hair. But I've had this color of hair now, I think it's, how long has it been? Almost 3 years? But changing my hair color was definitely something I love to play with. Am Me was a beautiful album to write. For me, at this point, I had gone through so much. I had been through SNL, I'd been through the world of ups and downs. And for me, yet again, saying, I'm here to tell you my story, and I'm beautifully broken. I look at the album, I think of like Beautifully Broken and Catch Me When I Fall. And I think that moment for me as a young 20-year-old woman here, where I said I've seen the 90s and how people treat everyone, and I've seen everything, and I know you have to have thick skin and be strong, and you have to believe in yourself first. And I think a lot of this album was like, I'm here to say I'm not going anywhere. I believe in me. And then I had fun with it too. There was like so many fun songs, like Boyfriend. And I feel like there was just such an element on this album of dark and light, and always choosing light. And I think for me, it was that confidence of like, I'm here, I'm not going anywhere. You can tear me down, but I know I'm good. I know these are my songs, and I know how I perform. And I think for me, it was just having that moment. And I think a lot of life is dark and light, and I learned that as a young girl. And you choose light, you choose to believe in yourself, and that's what I did on this album. And I also had a lot of fun making it too. Roxy Hearts. For me, being a dancer, I've always dreamt of being on West End and Broadway. And this to me was like living out a dream. I mean, theater is something I will still want to do in my future. I love it so very much. So I played Roxy on the West End first, and just even the rehearsals, doing the Fosse, stuff that I had grown up loving and being inspired by. So for me, this was just an amazing experience. It was such an amazing experience that I did West End, Broadway, I did the Hollywood Bowl, and it's something that has really been such a part of me that, you know, I love, and I can't wait to do theater again. See, I always love my red hair, and look at baby Bronx. Oh, he's so cute. Look at the chunky little legs. He had the cutest legs, gosh. You're gonna make me wanna have another baby. When I had Bronx, I turned 24 right before I had him, and it was something I'd always wanted. Not as a teenager, I was like, oh, I want to be a kid, but then there was this moment in my life where I was like, ooh, like, that is something, like, if it happens to me, I can't wait to be a mother. And I think for me, it was such a beautiful time of just, like, really centering myself, like, taking a step from everything, my life being so busy, and being able to, like, focus on motherhood and what that means to me, and learning this part as a young woman, and like, what is it like, and what is this, you know? And to me, that was my world, and is my world. Going into preschool, I'm like, oh, what am I doing? What do I do? You know, I think there was a bit of unknown when I had Bronx, but I was like learning. And then I was like, okay, I can't do this. I'm supposed to do this. These are the rules. But I think Bronx and I, we just had an ebb and flow. Like, I feel like parenting was something that was meant for me. I don't know. I was like, I just got it when I had him. And that was so nice. I mean, I'm definitely probably more laid back with my third than any of my kids. But I think now you just know what you're doing. By the third, you're like, oh, you know. So now I get to like offer everyone advice. Bronx is 16. He's like so grown, so cool. It's amazing to have him. I mean, he's so chill. He's like my easygoing, very cool, has great advice. Because you think about yourself at 16 and you're like, wow, you're so cool. You got this together. I mean, he drives everywhere. He's a confident driver now. I try to be really quiet and let him do his thing, because I realized, I think in the beginning of him driving, I was like, ooh, oh. And then I was like, if I just chill out. Because when I started to drive, my parents would freak out. I had to have my friend teach me, because I was like, this is not going to work out. And I knew it wasn't. So I was like, Bronx, I can't teach you how to drive. But once you've done your driving school, I'll ride in the car with you. Oh my God, this is when I met Evan. Oh my goodness, we're so cute. This was the first day we met. We're at a recording studio. I really miss that Fleetwood Mac vintage shirt though. I don't know where it is. I think it turned like a weird color, and I don't know, who knows. But this is like major rock star hair. This is like a vibe. I mean, Evan is just so cool. First of all, he's so cool, he's so handsome, and then he's just so sweet. And there was this like mysterious thing about him when I first met him. I like couldn't fully figure him out until I did, and I was like, oh my God, he's the nicest thing, and the sexiest and most lovely. And so this was the first time we met. Definitely had like major butterflies. We didn't start dating right after this. It was a while after, but he was definitely on my mind and somebody that I thought about. This night we had a dance off. I was like, who does that? Only us. Oh my God. This is when we got engaged. Evan and I, when we started to date, we were the kind of people that were like, oh, my wife, my husband, and your friends were like, oh my God, seriously, guys. But I feel like it was that like little time before we got together where we were actually thinking about each other. When we got together, it felt like, oh, this is my person. Like, this is it. And so, yeah, we were already like, oh, my wife, my husband. So 6 months later, we get engaged in Hawaii. And that was like just amazing. I didn't actually know it was coming. But when we did get engaged, he did that funny, like, oh, look at the little lizard up there. And I was like, oh. And Mr. Cool Pants is acting kind of awkward right now. So is something about to happen? So that was our engagement, and it was so beautiful, and I love Hawaii. There's nothing better than Evan and I, and I think his family, his sister, his mom, everyone, my parents, they just saw our love, and they knew that it was so right and it was so amazing. His mom officiated our wedding and sang at our wedding, and like our whole family was there, grandparents and godparents, and it was just this beautiful celebration, which I personally feel was like also yet again a rebirth of my life and this beautiful future that I am having now. We're just very open and honest. I mean, we're best friends, and I think that that is what keeps our relationship strong, and that we continue to grow together. And as we change or do different things in our lives, that we, meet each other at that place and at that level. This is my family. Oh my God. We're all just missing Ziggy in here. But oh my God, Jagger is such a baby and so cute, and so is Bronx. They're so little. Everyone's so grown up. It's crazy how fast time goes. Even looking at this just makes me think of all the beautiful celebrations that we've had, and every birthday, every holiday, everything together. And what has been my rock and so important to me in my life right now is family, being that mom, being there for everyone. And it will always continue to be my first priority. But it's just, I got a good family, and I'm very blessed for that. Bronx was maybe, 6 by the time I had Jagger. And I think he was excited for the sibling. He was excited to watch his mom go through this whole process. And he's been so loving and caring. And he's like the best big brother. And he's so grown. So the kids definitely look up to him. And then having a girl was different. Bronx and I are very easygoing. And Jagger, girls are just a different breed, Now it's like, where'd all my makeup go? So Jagger and I have somebody to do my dance routines with. She teaches me hers. I teach her mine. We definitely love a little dress up glam together. And it's definitely a different breed having a girl. All of my kids, there's this element of parenting, and then also how much fun we have together. I definitely see some of my kids performing for sure. Bronx is great at the guitar and writing songs. It's very impressive. He's always in his room, and he's brilliant. His lyrics are great. That reminds me of me when I was 16, loudly playing in my room. And Jagger's making videos and singing and dancing every day. And who knows what Ziggy will be, and who knows what any of them will be, but I'm open to all things. Here we go, Vegas. Oh my goodness. Last year I did a 20th anniversary, and I played 3 songs. And just to see my fans there singing the songs, and everyone's all grown up and amazing right now, and I'm like, wow. Just to feel that again, I was like, okay, this needs to come. And this was just the right time, and I want to relive that. I want to, I feel like it's also a fun time of a nostalgic time in life. And I'm excited to experience that, and I'm excited to see where this takes me from there. I think I've just had a lot of growth. I'm a woman. So I think just coming into things, feeling more calm and just excited and seeing what doors open, and just being at a place where, I truly am centered and love my life and love my home and love my beautiful routines. But I'm excited to shake that up and open the door and play with what I've been missing so much, which is my music and the arts in general. It's also a beautiful element because when I first came out, a lot of people were 11 years old, 13-year-olds, 15 years, and now they're grown. And I think just to get to experience this together and have those moments. And I've had so many lovely people be like, oh, I grew up listening to you. And people that are, big right now and grown, and 30. And so I feel like that's so nice because for me, I've had my Alanis's, my Fionas, and you know, to get to have those nostalgic moments is amazing. So hopefully how I felt during Alanis Morissette's concert, everyone can come to my concert and feel the same way. What I have tuned into is like the fans that have stuck with me throughout these years. And like I said, the fact that my daughter and her friends are revisiting this music. I'm like, oh my gosh, what a moment. She actually just came to my rehearsal the other day and she was like, Mom, you sound so good. And I was like, oh, just to see that for me, that's everything. But it definitely is a comeback in a sense of like coming back to myself, coming back to something I love to do, something I'm passionate about, and something I've, you know, truly missed in my life. I miss performing, I miss music. And I also want to share that with my kids. Like, this is also a part of mommy, you know. I'm not just an Uber mommy driver.